fueled by C4, Cellucor, and Extend. Use the code Clydesdale to get 20% off at checkout at c4energy.com. On Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the widest array of content here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're the first to know when new episodes are available. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Weight Loss Journey. My name is Scott Switzer. I'm the Clydesdale. She is Coach Cheryl Nasso, my nutrition coach. We are here to do our weekly check-ins. And there it is. I don't get to run this. I don't get to run this gig. It's all Cheryl's.
I love that Bruce was waiting on me. Something I need in my life. A man to wait on me. Just saying. Any of these days. But
there you go.
This is all about. He
lives down in your area too.
I know, down in Miami. So I am excited to talk to you today because I feel like I'm going to be honest. Your nutrition this past week looks like it's been pretty darn good. I mean, ups and downs with your protein intake and stuff, but overall, like it looks like I got consistent data to be able to work with and to give you some feedback and improvements on. So fill me in on how this past, like, I guess 10 days has been going.
So, it was a struggle figuring out how to front load my diet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting better at it. And especially the last couple days, it just comes to the fact where I've got to drink one of these like every afternoon.
A protein shake? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. An extend protein shake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and what it really might just come down to is just pushing, and I mentioned this to you in our call, is like just pushing everything up a couple of hours. And if you think of it this way, if you're eating 4 times a day and you've got 180 grams of protein to hit, it's literally just like breaking it down to making sure that you're getting that, 40 to 50 grams at those 4 meals. And that's really going to be probably the best thing for you versus like, breaking it down that way for a little while so that you don't feel like you're always trying to play catch up. You know what I'm saying? That's the big, because your protein intake is pretty low and we don't want protein intake to be so low for sure.
Yeah. So I'm doing 2 scoops of Extend whey protein every afternoon now. And the last 2 days I've been pretty good.
How much protein is per scoop?
I think it's like 18 grams.
So essentially and you're doing that once a day.
Yep.
Okay. That's not bad. I don't like people to supplement like protein. Like when I see them, like I've had some clients, they're literally just doing 4 scoops of protein powder just to like get the protein. Like that's not the point. And yes, you're getting the amino acids, but like you're also not getting the other benefits of the protein. So I think once a day like that is fine. I mean, that's supplementing with about 40 grams of protein from a protein shake is totally fine. If you are doing like multiple meals that way, I would be like, all right, Scott, we got to figure some other things out. I think it just comes down to 2 is like being a little bit more in tune with your portion sizes of proteins at your meals. Bulking up a breakfast of like 2 eggs by adding in some egg whites and, or even one of the newest things that a lot of my clients have been doing, myself included, is adding a little bit of cottage cheese to your eggs. If you've never done that before, let me tell you, it totally changes your eggs. It sounds weird until you try it, but like things like that can really bump up the protein content of your meals, because that's the main number I worry about when people are in a fat loss phase and you have a considerable amount of weight to lose. You're not in that 10 to 15 pound range. It's okay to be a little bit under on the macronutrients and the carbs and the fats, as long as satiation is there, you're not getting a bunch of cravings, and your protein intake is good. So that's the main thing for me. That looked amazing, by the way. Yeah.
So you inspired me with something you sent me Sunday. I didn't have burrito shells. All I had was taco shells. So that actually has in my breakfast with my 2 eggs, it has chicken breast in it, smoked chicken breast, with 2 eggs and salsa. Awesome. And some potatoes in 2 carb control taco shells.
Love it. I love it.
And Yeah, that's helped a lot too.
Yeah. I mean, your lunch portion is pretty good. You're getting a good amount of chicken there. Your dinner is your biggest variable. So let me just take a look at like what you had last night. Last night you had cereal for dinner.
Last night was crazy. That last night was awful. Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, your macros look pretty darn good. So I'm not unhappy with that. In fact, I would not. I've had clients like have a bowl of cereal. I'll tell them to have a scoop of protein in their milk to make it a higher protein meal. I've done that, for clients before, but no, not too bad at all.
Yeah.
How
I finished my last interview last night after 8 o'clock. That was my dinner right after the last interview. And then I went to bed.
Yeah. So I know you are trying to make some changes with your sinus stuff. How has that been going with the nighttime? Have you noticed a difference in your sleep and obviously sinus stuff?
If I can, if I can get 3 hours between my last meal and bedtime, it makes a huge difference.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I'm really, really trying. And I've cut out, I have 1 cup of coffee in the morning and no other caffeine the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's definitely not bad. Big government approved
And
term. Oh man, don't even get me started on that fucking stupid, excuse my language, stupid shit. Oh man.
um, but other than that, like the lack of caffeine, I am feeling pretty bad.
Yeah. You know what
Um,
though? That's good for you because you're gonna people don't understand how relying on caffeine totally screws with your hormones. And, I see it. And I know you don't have any issues right now, but you don't want to develop those issues and you become so dependent on it. So I am a proponent for people. Your sleep quality is probably going to get better. So I think that's going to fix a number of things. And caffeine's not a bad thing. The best place you can put your caffeine, honestly, is if you can have caffeine before your workout and in your morning coffee, like those are probably the two places that I would put it for sure.
so with working out at noon, my morning coffee I sip on for a couple hours. So by the time I go to workout, I'm fine for the workout.
Yeah.
It's the now time
Yep.
that I'm hurting right now.
Yeah. But if you think about it this way, if the people realize, well, how was your sleep last night? Did you get a good 8 hours?
Last night wasn't great because I ate right before I went to bed.
So, and the other thing is like people, if you realize like your circadian rhythm, we should be getting tired around this time of day. Like that's natural. That's a natural wave of cortisol that we should be seeing that time is, it's time to start winding down, time to start relaxing a little bit. Unfortunately, we all try and fight that and fit all the things in the day we can. It's just the nature of being, very productive, but that's natural for us to have that drop around 4:30, 5 o'clock into, like, and depending on what part of the world you're in, like if it's darker earlier, then you're probably feeling it like now really good. This time of year in Florida, it's bright outside till 8 o'clock at night. So it's a little different for me, but definitely that's going to be
Oh,
good.
it's definitely light outside until almost 9 here now.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I know it's crazy. How has your appetite been?
Um, I haven't been like craving anything. Now, yesterday I upped the intensity at my workout because it was my favorite workout ever.
The Chief is your
Um,
favorite workout?
oh yeah. I always forget it's my favorite workout till it pops up.
You'll have to try this one time then. Have you ever done Strongman's Chief?
I have not.
You do it with a sandbag. You'll love that. Three
Well, all
sandbags.
you have is the clean, right? So it's just 3 sandbag cleans?
Yeah, it makes a difference. It's more fun.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
I've done it
Yeah,
with
for me, I'm not as fit as I used to be,
yeah,
and I used to be great at push-ups.
yeah,
And I'm good at push-ups, but not great. And
mhm,
so I tried to pace them.
yep.
Like I did threes right from the start, knowing they were probably going to go on me at some point.
Do you do your push-ups to the ground on your feet or on your knees? How do you do your push-ups?
Full push-ups.
Cool. Awesome. Wasn't sure if you modify those. That's awesome. Good stuff. Well, you're getting ready
Yeah.
for
So I
Murph.
actually, well, I won't be able to do Murph.
Why
I'm
not?
always traveling.
No, you're doing Murph.
Oh, I don't need to do Murph.
You need to do Murph. I think so. So by the way, I actually mentioned, I want to mention this on our last call, we talked about you running a little bit, and I noted in your check-in last week that you had actually started incorporating a little bit of jogging. How has that been going?
So this last weekend I did a 400-meter run
Hell yeah.
just by itself on a Saturday to kind of go out and just loosen up. It was not, I shouldn't say a 400-meter run. I was covering the distance of 400 meters, running as much of it as I can. And hopefully in a few weeks, that will be a run 400 meters.
That's awesome. And earlier in the week, you did a warm-up run as well, because I remember because last week on my check-in form for
I
you,
actually put it in my workout.
that's awesome. And that's all I
So,
wanted. I think it's good for
so
you.
it was a 200-meter run was prescribed. I did a 100-meter run every other round.
Love it. Love it. I love it. I just love
So
you're taking, and this is the cool thing about you, Scott, is like you're taking action on the things I'm telling you to do. It's not about like, I didn't tell you to go run a mile. I'm like, let's just start adding a little bit of running here and there. I think it's something that you're going to get back to. So, but I think that
so
you,
I will tell you, my back felt it.
yeah. Have you tried on the air runner?
So I haven't been able to in the last week and a half because we got a new floor at
Okay.
CrossFit Polaris.
Yeah.
So they moved everything out
Okay.
and they moved the rig and everything. And so most of the stuff is back. Not everything is back in yet.
I would suggest as you're easing into it to use that. Other things that you can do to kind of start working into running volume without injuring your back to the impact is even like it sounds brutal, but like rather than running 200 meters, doing like a 50-meter empty sled push like with a jog. So like you're jogging, but like you're pushing something light, like a trot almost. That's kind of stuff that's going to actually get you good for running without actually putting so much emphasis on the actual run. It's going to get your heart rate up the same way. I like that as well.
So what I want to say to Bruce is you didn't hear a single excuse. I ran on pavement because the air runner wasn't available to me.
Yep.
Like I did not run.
Yeah.
I ran. I just didn't use the air runner because it was not available to me because I don't have one. They are way too expensive for my garage gym.
Yeah.
But my gym has two. They just had moved them to the shed while they were putting in a new floor, which the new floor is epic.
Is it that's what is it? Surface and Co?
It's not. It's an interlocking floor.
Oh, okay.
And it is so sweet.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I'm looking at weight, and it looks like from your hiatus, we are back to 309 as a low. That's kind of where we're sitting right now. We have about 3-ish weeks or so, I think, until semifinals, which is really where I want to be able to give you, 2 weeks of like, hey, like, let's just like not sweat it too much. I want you to stay consistent, but like, I know travel and tracking and all that stuff just doesn't go well with you. I've learned that. I think that we need to plan to have that as like a, hey, we're going to maintain this week, do the best we can, be active, but I want to push up until then. Do you have anything like, I know you're freaking crazy busy with podcasts right now, but what is your social schedule like? How's that been going for you?
So the only social thing I've really done is we do Sunday dinner with my friends.
Yeah. And how's that been going? You've been able to incorporate things and feel pretty confident there?
Yeah, my best friend goes to the Polaris with me. He is on the same nutrition kick. So
Cool.
we had turkey chili Sunday night.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking. So we have this week, next week, and then we have, yes, we've got 3.5-ish weeks, really. So our final check-in will be before semifinals will be the 18th, right? So that's about 4.5 weeks or so. 1, 2.
So here's a couple major things coming up.
Yep.
Because life never slows down.
Yep.
My daughter graduates from college in a week and a half.
Which is that's what
May 6th.
May 6th. Okay.
My my mom, as a graduation gift, rented a cabin in the woods near her college for
Okay.
us to hang out from Wednesday through the weekend.
So May 3rd through May 6th or the following
Yeah,
week? So May
May
3rd through
3rd
May
through
6th.
May 6th.
Okay. So you'll be back home on Sunday?
We'll probably come back home the 6th that night.
Okay. And so I know your mom eats pretty healthy. I'm expecting you to probably have some more fun stuff. That sounds awesome. I think that, what is your plan for that weekend? Do you want to have that weekend kind of to be flexible and not worry about tracking?
Um, I don't know. I don't. I'll know more when we meet next time because I'll know kind of what the agenda is for the week.
Because that also helps me in terms of planning because I like you guys to know that like, hey, there's a thing about memories and then there's a thing about like staying focused on your goals. And like the weekend of that, if you're like wanting to be out and about and not stress too much about numbers, y'all are doing s'mores and stuff, you can do that stuff and be moderate. Like that's totally fine. Now if you're like, I can still track, that's fine. But I want you to kind of keep me posted on that so I can kind of build that in. So I
Yeah,
think
I've never been a s'more guy. I've been a hot dog guy.
well, then you might be a
Um,
hot dog guy. That's and those turkey hot dogs just don't do it. So you got to get the real thing. Um,
um, but I do want to say a shout out to my daughter. She's graduating college at 21.
love it.
She's actually graduating young.
Mhm.
Already has 2 job interviews lined up, and I could not be more proud of her. So I do want to take a second to say that about her.
For sure, we should have her on the show. Um, all right, so we have until so I would like to say from you then this week. I know you have a ton of interviews. I want you to stay consistent up until the 3rd. And next week is I know you say we'll talk about that on our next check-in. That's the 3rd. That's next Wednesday, just so you know. So, I mean, we're looking at 7 days from now, essentially, that's going to be happening.
Okay.
So you can kind of think about that this week, looking at what's coming up ahead of you. And you might say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take this week with my family because I know that during semifinals, I can actually still track and be pretty consistent. In fact, the first week you're going to be with me anyway. So I'm going to probably keep you on track, just knowing that. So I know you're super busy, but I think you're still going to be fine. I know if anything, you're going to undereat. So I think that that's
Right.
probably what we should plan on.
So for second thing, I want to address Damien and Bruce. I will not skip Murph. I will when I get back, I probably will not be up to running a mile.
No, not yet.
But I will bike it and then do the push-ups, pull-ups, and squats.
Yep. I like that.
I will do it when I get back
Yep.
from
Kids,
Pasadena.
yeah, you're gonna be in Pasadena that weekend, right?
Yeah.
You're sure? Yeah, because when do you come home? That you come home on Monday.
I fly home on Memorial Day.
Yeah, so you won't be doing it that day. All right, cool. So, all right, so this week, I want to see consistency with your protein intake. That's the one number that I really want you to do. My suggestion is going to be yesterday looked awesome. If you're eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack, like 40 grams of protein plus at every single
So
opportunity.
today, same breakfast. I had the tacos again today because when I made it, it made so much.
Yep.
I had some leftovers, and then I had another protein shake today, and I had more chicken for lunch today than I did yesterday. So
Okay.
I'm on track for protein today.
All right, cool. Awesome. That's good then. So then let's keep focusing on that. That's really the main number that I want you to hit. Like the other numbers, I'm okay with you being a little bit flexible with. I like that you know that you have enough calories to be able to have a little bit more, but you're doing a pretty good job and you're able to eat social sometimes. So that's also good. What about any other things right now on your mind nutritionally?
So the good news is, I my man Charlie has struck me a deal with Rosie Joe Meals,
Oh, hell yeah.
and that I believe I get the first shipment tomorrow. And we're starting with a mixed box of stuff
Okay.
until we find out like my likes and dislikes and kind of all that stuff. And she's doing it not just for me, but for me and my wife.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to look that up. The hardest thing, and I'm going to be honest, I literally just I'm they're not worldwide, nationwide, they're just local to me. Finding meal prep companies that are, I want to say, quote unquote, macro friendly is really, really hard because they end up adding so much fat. So just watch your meals that they're not, I'm actually looking at their menu now, is that I like that they have the bulk, that makes it easier. I just find that a lot of them end up adding so much fat to their, and then you're like, well, this sucks. Now I can't
So
eat anything.
Christy uses them,
Yeah.
and I know she is very diligent about her macros.
Yeah.
And when we had a phone conversation, she was very good about asking me what my macros were.
Oh, good. Yeah. And are they nationwide?
She's out of Texas and I'm in Ohio.
I'm curious. I kind of want to look at their meals. I'm looking at meals.
So just so you know, and for the audience to know, they're actually looking into doing more personalized chef type stuff. Like for you, Cheryl, like you have your macros that you want to hit and you
Yeah.
tell them all of that stuff and they create a package and a plan for you
Okay.
specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at their meals right now, just like to give you an idea. Like a lot of their meals are like 26 grams of fat, 22 grams of fat, 32 grams of fat. So we might have to make a couple of number adjustments.
Okay.
If it ends up if you end up finding that you're going over a lot, I don't want you getting stressed about that. We'll just make
So the structure we have right now is prepared meals for lunches to just grab, and it's going to be bulk stuff to make dinners.
okay, cool. Yeah, I like the bulk stuff too. That makes it easier. I personally, that's how I like to do things because I can make things like tonight I made homemade tortilla chips last night, which was like super easy. And I'm making like a Taco Tuesday thing tonight. I'm going to put some ground beef on them, some shredded lettuce, some salsa, some cheese, and make like a taco thing. So I'm all about that. But
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been able to be creative because my wife has the flu. The
The
same
other
flu I had 2 weeks ago.
The other cool thing, Scott, is if you wanted to, for your trip, you could probably get your Rosie Joe meals delivered to the hotel or to the Airbnb if you
Yeah, I've
wanted
thought
to.
about that.
And they'll probably be there on Wednesday, and I'll just like make sure that I get them for you because that might help you if you wanted to have them on hand.
So I'm flying in there Wednesday too, just so you know.
Okay, yeah, I knew but I don't know what time. What time we'll have to talk about what time your flight gets in and all that stuff. But yeah, so I think this week, dude, you're making a lot of progress. You're consistent. Don't let life get the best of you. You've got a good 10 days of solid tracking in. Like, I think the plan is like, and I talked about this last week in my Facebook group. I had a live training. When it comes to any change you guys are trying to make nutritionally, fat loss, getting stronger, whatever, you're always trying to think of this as majority rules. Like it's not about every day being perfect. It's about getting more reps for your goals versus against your goals. So that's why I'm like majority rules right now. If we've got, 2.5 weeks of you being consistent, and then we have 3 days of you being off the grid, and then we've got another 2 weeks of you being consistent, and then we call it like a week of you being off the grid. Then we've got another couple of months before the games to really get things, finished up. And so this next month is going to be all about pushing and trying to stay as consistent as you can, not letting life get the best of you. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, everything's been really good. Workouts have been good. Nutrition's been good. Just a little tired from the lack of caffeine,
Yeah.
but I'm sure my body will adjust at some point.
Yeah. Just,
And with the Wild Health stuff, we're going to get that panel of stuff back here soon.
That's going to be awesome.
With more data.
How much blood did you have to get taken? Like 20 vials?
Only 5.
Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I am excited. So when you do get those results, please share them with me. That's something I nerd out about blood values. So for sure. Like I have clients, I'm like, when's the last time your labs run? I'm like, run XYZ. I love seeing that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think that right now you're in a good spot. I think that we're seeing some progress be made, and I'm excited to see you in a couple of weeks.
All right. Well, thank you everybody to who's in the chat. We'll catch everybody next time on the Clydesdale Media Weight Loss Journey.